Hello to my double that, 4 subscribers. And some of y'all have left comments. And yes, one of y'all has left, 2 of y'all have left comments and done some liking of videos. So thank you for coming over here. And I want to give a shout out to a couple people actually, because I'm going to be doing a thing called BIPOC. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're saying now? Instead of people of color, instead of POC, we're saying BIPOC. BIPOC. So I'm gonna be doing this thing called BIPOCtober. I'm just laughing. It sounds so weird. I'm so sorry. And I want to shout out to a cool girl named Booking It Forward. Let me view her channel so I can tell y'all her name. I should have got this together before I started. That's why I have so many followers, because I'm organized. On her about, it doesn't say her name. It just says, I love books, but don't actually read a lot. I'm hoping to change this. Awesome. So she started way 300 years ago. She started way 3 years ago. Oh my goodness. And her YouTube is called Booking It Forward. So shout out to her, and shout out to the creator of the challenge that I'm going to talk about right now. The challenge is called the BIPOCtober challenge. So all October, we're putting a big emphasis on Black, Indigenous, and people of color in the BookTube and Bookstagram community. I don't know if it's going on BookTube. I'm putting it on BookTube because I was looking at my videos and I was like kind of not embarrassed, but a little embarrassed. I was like looking through my videos and I was like, I've only made one video about a book written by a Black woman so far on my channel. And that's Mariah Carey, who's biracial. So I'm like, what am I doing? But it's not purposeful. Like, cause I read a lot of things, but I've just started this like this month basically. And it's like, this is the like little announcement. So you can pause if you care. Pause if you care, pause if you dare. BIPOCtober. So day 1 is October TBR. Day 2, favorite BIPOC. I'm just gonna say BIPOC. Favorite BIPOC author. Favorite 3 gave you chills. Favorite 4 young adult read. Favorite 4 day 5. I'm so organized. Day 5 trick or treat yourself is the haul. So day 6, book booze. Day 7, book to movie. Day 8, spooky look and a book. Yesterday was day 8, the 8th of October, and I did Mariah Carey, the meaning of Mariah Carey. I just did that whole spiel. I'm listening to it. I highly recommend listening to the audio. It's really, really good in my opinion. So I did her book yesterday. Today is number 9, Howl at the Moon Good. It makes you want to howl at the moon. That's today, right? Today's the 9th. Yes. I have not even posted for that yet, but I'm making this video. So, whatever. And just giving a shout out to my little platform over here. And this is going to be kind of like a book haul / recommendation. So I'm going to start with 2 recommendations because I've already read these things and they're not a haul. So my 2 recommendations is, I do recommend this. 4 of y'all have watched this video of Mixed Feelings by Avin Jogia. I think it's really good. I think he makes a lot of points. I think he gets really personal and deep. I gave it 3 stars on Goodreads, but it's more like 3.5, leaning towards 3.75. I don't know. But it's good. I remember it is memorable. Like a year later, it's memorable to me. And I think I might reread this and try to understand why I gave it 3 stars. I also read this during work. I work as a substitute on some days, and some days I work in my main job. It's complicated. But I was reading this while substituting, and maybe that's why. I don't know. I have no idea. And this is a recommendation. This is the most basic recommendation of all time. But this is still one of my favorites that I read this year. My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. Yeah, Braithwaite. Girl. If I could I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. We're homespun around here. We're homespun. We're doing our best. And these are some things that I posted. I did do a cute little post. You have to go over to look at it. I'm not going to hold up the phone again. What I am going to hold up is these. These are things that I put in my post. So I put Romance in Versailles. Yeah, by Claude McKay. And I posted this one. You know what? You're going to have to go look at it. I'm not going to read every single day, or the video is going to get super long. So I've already read these and recommend them. They're really good, especially if you like thrillers. If you don't like poetry, but you did like Victorious, you'll like this. You'll like it. He's an interesting guy. If you follow him, you should already read it. Romance in Versailles. I have not read this. I want to read this fall, but BIPOCtober is just putting it forward on my mind. And this is about a guy who becomes, let me say this right, he becomes disabled from an accident, basically on a ship, kind of an accident, and you have to read it. And then he meets a woman, and you know, it's about a very diverse cast of characters. There's people from African, European, Caribbean, and American. There's collectively straight and queer, disabled, and able-bodied. So this is, you know, Claude McKay was before his time, before people were like, we need more representation, diversity, and ableism, and all this stuff. He was before his time. He was writing about it. He was going there. So this is a book by Torre. Let me see if it's the Torre, I think. It's the Torre, I think. I got this from the library. I want to read this. Who's afraid of post-blackness? What does that mean? In the age of Obama, racial attitudes have become more complicated and nuanced. In this provocative new book, iconic commentator and journalist Torre tackles what it means to be Black in America today. So that's interesting. That's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Look, the book is so old that it has a pocket on it. Isn't that adorable? Do you remember when library books had pockets? I'm like giving away my address. This is the address of the public library. Who cares? But this is Torre. If you don't know who Torre is, he was on a lot of VH1 shows. He, I feel like, leans more towards music journalism, if I'm not mistaken. But he is the iconic journalist who asked R. Kelly, do you like underage girls? And R. Kelly, instead of flat out saying no, decided to say, define underage girls. Or did he say underage or teenage? Define that. Do I like a 19-year-old? Maybe. Like, you know, and he was like 30 at the time. A grown man, okay? I'm going to return this back to the library, actually, because I'm not going to read this. I'm going to listen to it. I decided to invest financially into the audiobook, and I got it, and I'm just like, I'm in love with memoirs on audiobooks now. I really kind of made this revelation with Becoming by Michelle Obama. It just feels like the person is talking to you and talking to you about their life. And even listening to Mariah Carey's memoir and just listening to her get really choked up at certain parts, I'm like, ugh, it's good. It's good. I recommend listening to autobiographies and memoirs. I'm going to look at the pictures. I might keep it and look at the pictures, but I do want people to have access to it that can't afford to buy it, and I can. I'm in the lucky position to be able to do that right now. So I'm going to return this back to the library and let somebody else have a chance. Speaking of the library, another library books. This is a library haul, by the way. I do library hauls. I did a book haul where I bought a lot of graphic novels because the library doesn't have graphic novels that I like. I'm not going to say they don't have a good selection. I'm just going to say they don't have a lot of things that I like. But anyway, this is a short story collection I got from the library. You can tell because it has a nice shiny wrapper. It's called Black Enough, and it's edited by E.B. Zoboy. I think that's how you say her name. Maybe it's Zoboy. I don't know. One of those two, I think. And it has a whole host of names. Justina Ireland, Varian Johnston, Rita Williams Garcia, Donnell Clayton, Kikla Magoon, Leah Henderson, Tochi Onyebuchi. Let me stop butchering people's names today. If you're African and you see African Americans butchering your name, tell me how you feel about it in the comments. Just go off. Do your thing. I'm only on page 77. Go off, drag me. I don't. I am saying it wrong. Like, you know, give me. I'm only on page 77. I go follow me on Goodreads as well, because I like to, when I read a short story collection, I don't read them often, but when I read a short story collection, I like to discuss story by story or every 2 stories. And I do update only after I finish a story, and then I just talk about the story in a little update. And I've done basically 3 of the stories, and I'm reading this, and I keep referencing this because I want to make a video about this, about influencer book clubs and celebrity book clubs. There's so many everywhere. I was just at Barnes & Noble, and there is this kind of hashtag read with Jenna or someone. And I'm like, who is that? I don't even know who some of these people are. Hold on. Hashtag read with, not with Reese. It was like Jenna or somebody. Jenna. I swear it was a read with Cindy. I don't know who it is. I was like walking past a display. I was like, who is that? I forgot to Google it, and now I can't remember who it was, etc. But read this, pick this up. It's exposing you, I think, to a lot of people of color, BIPOC, young adult authors. Speaking of young adult, now I have taken this to mean not just BIPOC writers, but also characters. And this is something, I'm kind of saving this, and I feel kind of guilty because I think I need to get to this like next week, because I want to read this. When I check things out from the library, our library now has changed because of COVID. And so now, instead of 3 weeks, you basically get to keep them indefinitely. You get to check it out and keep stuff indefinitely with no charges. And I love that, but I also feel guilty because I know that there's young people in this demographic, Black girls, who are stuck at home, can't go to this is set in a fall festival type atmosphere. They volunteer or work at a fall festival type deal, a little pumpkin patch type deal. And I think they probably fall in love with each other. It seems pretty obvious from the cover to me that he's kind of looking at her, giving her the eye with a little blush. But I'm like, oh, I want to save this because I'm reading so many serious things. I'm like, oh, I want to save this. This will be so cute and fun. But it's by Rainbow Rowell. Oh my gosh. Yes, it is by Rainbow Rowell. I was looking at the illustrator, and I was like, oh crap, that's not right. No, that's the illustrator. This is the illustrator on the bottom. This is me. But I think that the illustrator, she's a writer and illustrator. So I don't know if she helped write it or just illustrate it. I don't know. But it's about these two. It's YA. It's cute. People of color. Okay. Now this is kind of a haul. These are all library haul. I did 2 suggestions, and now I'm just going to do 2 little, this is a real haul. These are I just bought these. This is me reusing. This is a bag that they give you at the library to put the books in. I'm reusing these because I have so many. Follow me on Instagram. I keep saying it. And you'll see that I have so many of the bags. I made a post about it, and I'm like, oh, I hate the bags. Anyway, I have my little receipt. I don't know why I'm pulling my receipts out. The receipts! Anyway, I bought these 2. The 2, you've heard of these. If you're watching a BookTube video, you've heard of these 2 books. I don't even need to describe these to you. You know what these are. You know what these are, girl. Mexican Gothic. I'm buying this, and I'm showing y'all this in my BIPOCtober haul suggestion video. But at the same time, I'm not reading this till next year. And that's... It low-key makes me sad because I'm so excited to read this. I'm so excited. I'm like, I can't wait. I don't want to wait and get a softback. I want a hardback while I'm abusing her. I want to read this so bad. I think it's right up my alley. Some of my favorite professors in college were really obsessed with Gothic literature, and me too. They passed it on to me. So I really want to get to this. But I'm in a book club with some friends, and I think we're going to vote to read this next year. Anyway, something I don't have to wait to read. In fact, I'm going to read the chapter I'm going to start reading is a chapter called The Hood Does Not Hate Smart People. The hood doesn't hate smart people because I don't know if y'all have heard that kind of stereotype around of like when I was growing up, I was the smart kid and I got bullied. I think that happens to a lot of people of every color, but I think it takes on a certain tone with Black people. But that's the one I'm going to start reading. It's Hood Feminism. You've probably heard of this. It's a collection of essays about intersectional feminism and how feminism should take on the mantle of poverty and all of the things that does to women, because women are so much more affected by it. I think that just talking about the wage gap is not enough. And so this book is like, that's why that's not enough. And let's go into detail about why that's not enough to talk about. So these two are my things that I purchased. Should I talk about what I purchased on my... I literally downloaded the Apple Books app just to listen to Mariah Carey and to listen to a book that I could not find. Oh, it's playing. I couldn't get it at the library, and this is for school. I'm reading a lot of things for school that are middle grades and YA and stuff like that. So because, a lot of us are going to be... Oh, I'm in school to become a librarian, if you don't know. I'm taking library science courses, and we're reading about things that can make our library more diverse. And this is about two girls who have intellectual handicaps. Intellectual disabilities. I don't know if people say handicap anymore. Oh, God. And I did download... I already showed Kamala Harris's book, so why am I even talking about that? Anyway, that's it. That's my BIPOCtober pitch. That's my BIPOCtober suggestions and my BIPOCtober haul. Okay. Book, library haul, and Barnes & Noble haul. So, whoo! That's it.